At first you're terrified. It's something with the spine. Every time you hear anything about the spine, you know, it's something where you think the worst.
Somebody operating the spine is a major, major thing. And I was, terrified.
I was so scared, like I was crying and I was thinking about all the negatives. But it's probably like the best decision I've ever made.
Ashley was about 4 years old when her pediatrician did a routine check on her and realized that her spine was curving a little bit. She had I think it was like a 25-degree curve for a 4-year-old, which was kind of extreme at that point. So he recommended that I go to Miami Children's Hospital and visit Dr. Shufflebarger.
At first I was concerned because I knew nothing about it. I really didn't know what that meant. I never heard of it before. So it's first time.
When she was first diagnosed with the scoliosis, and I really got to understand what scoliosis was, and I saw the x-ray, I was, beside myself. I really was.
It was scary because you could see my body actually deforming, like my hip would pop out on one side and my shoulder would go up on the other side, and it was getting worse and worse, and it eventually got to the point where I had to wear a brace to school. So it was hard, and then knowing that it's not getting better, it's really scary.
It got to the point where Dr. Shufflebarger says, look, the curvature is getting too wide. The degree is almost at 60 degrees, and at one point we're going to have to operate.
We were always against surgery. We're not going to operate, until the point we reached.
It scares you, but the first thing you got to focus on is trying to find the best help for your daughter. And that's the first thing that came into my mind. What is the thing we're going to do to make this better, and how we're going to find somebody that can actually help her, and who's going to be the best at it.
Scoliosis is usually diagnosed by suspicion of the pediatrician or primary care person and an x-ray being made showing the curve. Treatment choices for the idiopathic or genetic scoliosis are really only 3, and that's one is observation or watching it, the second would be brace treatment, and the third would be a surgical procedure.
Once Dr. Shufflebarger from Miami Children's Hospital advised me that, she was going to need surgery and that he would recommend it within the next 6 months or a year.
We said, well, we really want to research this, something so important. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing at the right time for her.
We decided to go all over the place and get different, opinions and visit different doctors to see what kind of education and background these doctors that specialize in that field had.
We went to New York, we went to Texas, we went to California. We went to several doctors here in Miami.
It was scary to have to go out there to find a doctor that could give you the right surgery.
All roads lead back to Dr. Shufflebarger. He has the best that there can be. And people would actually say, oh, he's one of the best that you're seeing right now. Why are you coming over here?
The general name is a posterior spinal fusion with instrumentation. And this is an extreme example with instrumentation placed all the way from the base of the skull to the large bone or the pelvis at the bottom. In reality, this extensive an instrumentation wouldn't be done, and only a small portion of the spine would be instrumented. I think Miami Children's is considered, not only in the United States, but around the world, as one of the leading centers for spine care for children.
The Child Life Department, I have a spinal fusion orientation program where the patients and families are invited to come in. They get to take a tour of the unit they will be staying. They get to meet some of the nurses prior to being admitted. They get to see the OR. They get to see the recovery room. Basically, we go over every step from the moment they arrive to the time they go home, what they're going to see, what they're going to hear, what they're going to feel, and how to cope with getting through this surgery.
The surgery took about 4 hours, and And Miami Children's Hospital was fantastic, from the doctor to his nurses, to the nurses that took care of her after the procedure was done. I mean, I was so impressed, and my gratitude to them is endless.
The treatment was great there, the therapy, everything from the start of that surgery to the end was perfect.
I have like amazing posture right now. I'm never arched, and I'm actually captain of the cheerleading team, starter in basketball. I play even better, if anything.
I don't think there's probably any better facility or better place to be treated or doctor to treat you in the world.
I did major research. I flew, to different states to be sure that I was doing the right decision. And I ended up back in Miami Children's Hospital with Dr. Shufflebarger. I would recommend Dr. Shufflebarger blindly and Miami Children's Hospital to anybody.